Good morning to you, wherever you may be in the world today. Alan Clements here from Santa Monica, California, United States of America. March 1st, 2021. Today's sharing directed at Myanmar Now, the terrorist leader of the newly designated state-sponsored terrorist organization now occupying the sovereign country of Myanmar. MAH-SAC, Myanmar Now, State Administrative Council, MAH-SAC, MAH-SAC, the acronym for the newly designated terrorist organization occupying Myanmar. Let it be known from this moment onward, although obvious to those who are watching, the tragedy and the glory unfolding in Myanmar, that MAH-SAC, no longer run by the military, that is a wrong designation. No longer is this man, Myanmar Now, a senior general. It's a disguise. He is an Osama bin Laden. He is a terrorist on the loose. He is a serial killer, killing his own people. The United States Department of Defense should immediately designate MAH-SAC as an equivalent in the early stages of the Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot's occupation of Cambodia. Taliban, think ISIS, think Al-Qaeda, think terrorism. An organization, an individual, targeting civilians, innocent civilians, mercilessly killing and terrorizing them. You fit, MAH-SAC, the classic definition of terrorism. If you were an individual, you'd be tried as a serial killer and executed. As the leader of a terrorist organization at this point in human history, welcome to the designation of MAH-SAC. May the meme spread globally to all people worldwide that we have a new Khmer Rouge in the making in Myanmar that is no longer going by the label Thamada or military or generals or commanders or police. Those are wrong designations. It's a terrorist organization. State-sponsored, state-controlled. Think Khmer Rouge. Think Al-Qaeda. Think Taliban. Think of terrorist actions worldwide and the horror of those experiences on the country, on the families, on the globe. Point one, MAH-SAC, Myanmar Now. You can no longer hide behind the label of general, military, senior. You are a designated terrorist. Myanmar Now. MAH-SAC and your State Administrative Council, MAH-SAC. Think Khmer Rouge. Think Taliban. Think Al-Qaeda. Think ISIS. Welcome to Burma today. A terrorist organization, formerly the military, occupying, killing, torturing, interrogating ruthlessly innocent human beings, their own people, citizens, doctors, nurses, monks, nuns, journalists, civil servants, drivers, workers. A man and a former military gone mad, hiding behind the designation of military, supplied by China, Russia, Ukraine, Turkey, and Israel. Cease your collusion with MAH-SAC, the latest terrorist organization on planet Earth. Get it. You are no longer in the military. The military is a ruse. It's a camouflage for a lie. The designation is terrorist group MAH-SAC, MAH-SAC. You have earned it like no one else that we know at this time in human history. It has been 4 weeks of unrelenting, merciless persecution of the good people of Myanmar, nuns, monks, Catholics, Jews, atheists, Buddhists, agnostics, people, human beings, boys and girls, cafe work, your own doctors and nurses, women and men who gave birth to your children, supported them through that process of bringing life into the world. You're killing them. You're forcing them to go into hiding through your terrorist actions. MAH-SAC, you are no longer a senior general. You've been sacked. You are now a terrorist. May the leaders of the free world, may all 193 nations at the United Nations formally, vocally designate the acronym MAH-SAC as the latest terrorist organization in the world and no longer refer to him as senior general or military or a coup d'etat or a regime or whatever it may be to legitimize a dialogue with terrorism. Inexcusable terrorism. You do not kill and terrorize innocent people based upon a free and fair election instigated by a civilian government in a bogus constitution from 2008, brought forth by your own senior terrorist, Tan Shui. And because you do not like the results, whatever it may be, yet again another ruse like in 1990, and your result for elected civilians, people in the parliament, your response is to imprison, terrorize, and kill. You do that because of your pathology. That's why you've been now designated as a terrorist of an organization called MAH-SAC, MAH-SAC. May the world refer to you as the terrorist leader of MAH-SAC, and let every member of the military, the former military in Burma — there is no military in Burma anymore. It's a terrorist organization. You are now the Khmer Rouge of Burma. I wrote a book 30 years ago called Burma, the Next Killing Fields, based upon my research in the Karen state from that point, called the Thamada. Ethnic cleansing wasn't even on the table then. Look what has happened in 30 years under this so-called Thamada, the military. Persecution of the Shan, the Mon, the Karen, the Kachin, the Rohingya, the Arkanese, the Buddhist, the people of your own country. You're wanted in the World Criminal Court for your persecution of the Rohingya. You labeled ARSA a terrorist organization. You labeled the Arkan Army a terrorist organization. You have now earned that same designation. You are no longer a member of the honorable Thamada. Make this point clear, military, if you're listening. May this video be shared worldwide, especially in Burma. There is the Thamada. There is the military. It is right now no longer guided by a general and the commanders. They are now, this point forward, designated as terrorist leaders. They are Bin Ladens. They are Pol Pots. They are inexcusable terrorists, irredeemable, killing innocent human beings in the name of a lie. You have mangled language. Your persecution of the state councilor Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, Burma's Nobel Peace Laureate, to even say that you have her in a so-called military court where lawyers are talking about fair trial, it is not to be had. Terrorists do not conduct justice. We refuse to participate in your lie. You have kidnapped the state councilor of Burma. You have kidnapped the elected president of Myanmar. You have kidnapped over 700 other people, members of parliament, leaders, journalists, doctors, nurses, nuns, and monks. You are now a terrorist organization. You have them as hostages. All countries worldwide, ASEAN, the United States of America, Canada, Australia, all members of the EU, all nations worldwide that care for the universality of human rights, rule of law, justice, decency, peaceful coexistence, may I invite you to immediately convene and talk to your colleagues and designate the former Thamada, the military of Myanmar, MAH-SAC, the acronym for the latest terrorist organization on planet Earth. Refuse any participation in negotiation with them. Refuse to give them anything. No longer sanctions, this and that. They are a terrorist organization. They are outlaw. They are criminal. They are to be jailed. He's refused to back down and apologize and reconvene the parliament. The committee representing the People's Parliament of Myanmar has also designated the former Thamada of Burma a terrorist organization. The United Nations representative of Myanmar has called all freedom-loving countries worldwide to do everything within their power, morally, financially, and militarily, to surround the MAH-SAC terrorist group occupying present-day Myanmar and refuse to negotiate with them. Do everything you can to take them out of their position. They are being run by a group of about 10 to 20 men in Naypyidaw. Former Senior General Min Aung Hlaing, hiding behind a uniform. He is no longer a member of a military organization. The Thamada of Burma, Point 3, was formed in the 1940s by the Honorable General Aung San. You know that. Tan Shui knows that. The world knows that. Daw Aung San Suu Kyi's father formed an honorable organization that gained independence from England in 1947. And finally, after decades, 1.5 centuries of persecution and imperialism, breathed freely for the first time. For whatever reason, a succession of dictators from Ne Win to So Maung to Tan Shui to Min Aung Hlaing, you have led a bogus relationship to the origins of the Thamada. It would do you well to look at the speeches of General Aung San, a patriot, a man dedicated to fairness and justice and independence, freedom and harmony and unity among all ethnicities in that country as a result of your time in your role as a former general, now a terrorist leader, there are close to 30 armed groups opposed to you because of your unremitting terrorism. You have labeled them terrorists, and now the world has labeled you MAH-SAC, the acronym. Ming Online, think Pol Pot, Ming Online, former general, Ming Online. Think Bin Laden, out of control psychopath. MAH-SAC, State Administrative Council, bogus, a lie, a euphemism for terrorism. MAH-SAC from this day forward is a terrorist organization. President Joseph Biden, look at the facts, look at the behavior. A man, a former general, hiding behind military uniform, terrorizing the population, terrorizing the population. Sir, you have nearly 15,000 armed American soldiers around the Capitol. For fear of persecution, think if they turned on you and the Senate and the House and governors. Welcome to the terrorism of Burma. Designate MAH-SAC, put it on the State Department website, the latest designation, state-sponsored, state-organized, run by a former general. Don't even associate this man anymore with Burma's military. The military, make the point very clear, Burma's military is honorable. Every member of the Thamada in Burma that may hear this, may it be translated into Burmese, you are an honorable member, a son of General Aung San, a patriot, a man dedicated to independence, fairness, justice, rule of law, not totalitarian terror. You are being occupied by a wolf in a uniform. You're over. Retire. Give up. Seek asylum in China or Russia. Do what you need to do. Take your private jet, take your generals, take your family. Leave Burma to the people. Free Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, President Biden, United Nations, the EU, the G7. Do everything imaginable. We have a growing threat. We have a Khmer Rouge in Burma. Hear me. Read my book from 30 years ago, Burma the Next Killing Fields, with a question mark. And for 30 years, this Thamada, hiding behind a military uniform, has occupied, tormented, tortured the people. Read my books, Burma, Voices of Freedom, the voices of people who lived in the gulags and suffered the interrogation and the tortures under this man Tan Shui and Ming Online. They are out of control psychopaths. I am not going to apologize for those designations. You have shown yourself to your people. You're persecuting with unrelenting terror. You're putting the good people, beautiful people, human beings are beautiful people. You're putting the people who care for the people of your country, for your children, for your family. You're torturing them. You're killing women with pregnancies. You're killing nuns and monks, reporters. All for what? Your diabolical need for profit and money and the sickness of your own DNA. May you go to a monastery within the insane prison complex and meditate with a sayadaw who's willing to come there and help you until you pass away. let me conclude. Today, March 1st, 2021, we have on the global stage, tragically, the newest label of a terrorist organization occupying an entire country. It goes by the acronym of MAH-SAC, M-A-H-S-A-C, MAH-SAC, Ma Min Aung Hlaing, former senior general of Burma's military. MAH-SAC, State Administrative Council, the organization that's identical to ISIS that he controls. MAH-SAC, the acronym for Burma Terrorist Organization. May all good leaders worldwide start to refer to what these men in former uniform, hiding behind military badges and names, call them who they are. Khmer Rouge, Pol Pot. The foreign embassies worldwide have been recalled by MAH-SAC. I would encourage you to think 6 times, defy your association with MAH-SAC, break ranks with terrorism. All sovereign nations where Myanmar's embassies, the 19 foreign missions worldwide with 100 different Burmese employees in those 19 missions being recalled, demanded to come back. May those 100 people brave up in deep regard for democracy, for your people, not to fear the persecution potentially of your family and your friends back in Myanmar. The world is not going to support MAH-SAC anymore. Do not trust MAH-SAC by returning to Myanmar. Break ranks with the MAH-SAC terrorist group. Stand your ground. Turn Myanmar embassies worldwide into expressions of true democracy. Stand with the parliament. Stand with the state councilor, Aung San Suu Kyi. Stand with General Aung San. MAH-SAC wants to imprison Daw Suu. They've kidnapped her. They've kidnapped 700 leading members of the civilian population and members of parliament. They've kidnapped them. They will torture them. They're being tortured right now. They have kidnapped the entire country. Myanmar is a country of 54 million hostages held at terrorist gunpoint by the Khmer Rouge of Burma, the Taliban of Burma. MAH-SAC, M-A-H-S-A-C. I never thought I would say this, but I am saying it. I believe it. I do think the world should respond to the new designation from this point on. Do not participate, support, collude with, dialogue with a terrorist organization. I don't know what should be done other than what I've been saying now for a month. Send the attack aircraft carrier group, either the Nimitz or the Theodore Roosevelt, just cruising in the South China Sea. Send them, sir, to the Andaman Sea off the coast of Myanmar and be within striking distance of MAH-SAC. They are the Khmer Rouge. We do not want a repeat of Pol Pot. We do not want to see where they will go with their own people. They have shown it to the Karens, to the Mons, to the Kachins, to the Rakhines, to the Rohingyas. We have enough evidence of the blood on the sociopathic hands of MAH-SAC to act. And act in relationship to the latest designation, tragically on planet Earth, the MAH-SAC terrorist group in Myanmar. And I will say this one last time. This is very different than the Tamada, the military and the police. I encourage everyone in the military, 500,000 boys and girls, men and women, read in your native language the speeches, the talks, the quotes of General Aung San. Read them. Let them into your blood. Talk it over with your family, your friends, your wife, your children. You have a chance right now to break ranks with the terrorist group of Myanmar MAH-SAC. Isolate the Khmer Rouge leaders. Isolate Al-Qaeda. Isolate Pol Pot. He will break down and seek asylum somewhere in China or Russia. Let him escape. Break ranks with the terrorist group. Most of the military in Burma is simply dealing with the classic issue of brainwashing. Obedience to a brainwashing dialogue where you must do what I say, even if it's violating to your religion, to your Dhamma, to your Sila, to your integrity, to the well-being of you and to your family and to the future of your people. That's called terrorism. That's indoctrination. You are victims of the most severe Stockholm Syndrome, military. Study it online. Read about it. Talk it over with your friends. Break ranks with MAH-SAC. Isolate, 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 isolate. Let the world isolate, isolate. Stand in allegiance, world. Isolate, defund, no longer give weapons, and no longer think that they have any legitimacy. ASEAN, deal with MAH-SAC as a terrorist group. Show your integrity, your dignity. This isn't just some revolt of the people. This has been a long-standing ruse manufactured by Tan Shui. Daw Aung San Suu Kyi was released in 2010. These are elected people. And they did all that they humanly could to non-violently dialogue with the sociopathic military generals. And now we have seen that they had no intention whatsoever of allowing democracy to shine. And maybe it's come to this, and it has. You are now the latest terrorist group on the planet. You are absolutely illegitimate. You are over. There is no retrieving your status as a general, as a military commander. You are over. And may I encourage here, all military, all police, may this be translated into multiple languages and sent all throughout the country. May you walk away from your terrorist leadership. It's not leadership at all. If General Aung San were here today, he would say, break ranks with Pol Pot. Break ranks with Al-Qaeda. Break ranks with Bin Laden. Break ranks with your own indoctrination. Think of the people as your brothers and sisters and family. All they want is unity, harmony, and peace. The world sees you, MAH-SAC. You're over. And may, as a final note, all members of the United Nations, all 19 foreign missions of Burma around the world, it takes moral courage right now to stand in the truth. But the truth has been seen. For 4 weeks, we've watched merciless persecution, unending terror. The videos, the images coming out of Myanmar are so horrifying. They rival the worst terrorist organization behaviors that we've ever seen. You're out of control. May the world see this. No longer seek dialogue and negotiations. Cease colluding with the Khmer Rouge of Burma. Cease colluding with Al-Qaeda in Burma. Cease colluding with MAH-SAC, the latest terrorist organization, tragically, on the planet. The people of Burma, we are with you. Civil disobedience, we are with you. And General of our own military and President Biden, I implore you, send an attack aircraft carrier group to the Andaman Sea. Put 3 beautifully painted fingers on the flight deck in solidarity to the people. Feed them, fund them, medically support them, and if needed, militarily intervene in this terrorist occupation of Myanmar now. From my heart to yours, stay strong, rise up, and we are with you.